Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fabs in the house, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm in the house with the Shirogorov Custom Division Hati Bronze here with me for a maintenance video. But hey, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this fella, because you might remember this guy. I already did the maintenance about the Hati Bronze. Because the one I had before had a little bit of lock stick and the action wasn't that great. So I sold it. I was frustrated and angry, not really, but I got another one because I like this knife so much and I wanted to give another chance. So this one is perfect. There's no lock stick whatsoever, but it has not broken in. So the action, you see, needs a little bit of help. And I think there's still the thick grease from factory. So in order to do this maintenance, I have one thing to say before. So in the older Shiro, you see the screw here in the back is partially covered by the pocket clip. So in order to avoid scratching and marking the clip on this position, I suggest you to grab a piece of clear tape, and just wrap it around the tool and just approach the screw like with the tiny one, and make sure, like you see, it just, because like that, you see, it's gonna touch. It's not it's kind of like a design flaw, but you see, it's gonna have to touch the clip. And also we're gonna use this guy for the pivot screw, but that's not an issue. So just very gentle and be careful. You see, just to do that, pushing on this side and very gentle until you can unscrew with your hand. You can maybe push it, and that is out. See, that was easy. I'm just gonna use this tool here for the pivot side. And here it is, the pivot coming out. So remember, the custom division knives, they all come with non-spinning pivot, whereas the production, here you go. Oh yeah, it needed definitely some cleaning. Definitely. There you go. All right, so check internal milling, very clean work, single roller bearing, grease gunk. We're gonna clean up everything, don't worry at all. So this is a beautiful practice, guys. It's something you want to do when you are not in a hurry. You just want to enjoy this process, right? Because it's a pretty cool process to do, to enjoy. Take your time, don't rush it. All right, so that's the pivot, that is the back spacer. So let's keep these guys together. Probably it's the same size, but I like to keep it separate, and then just wiping off all this gunk from here and also from here. You're gonna need a couple of tweezers for this task. They don't have to be Shirogorov tweezers, of course. It's nice when you can use only Shiro tools to take down your Shiro. And then we're gonna clean nicely the tang of the blade, this part of the flipper tab, which is nicely milled. There you go. That's pretty clean. No detent ball ramp. Only in the newer ones you can see the detent ball ramp. And I'm just gonna grab another one of these. Here you go. And we're gonna do a thorough cleaning of this beauty right over here. All right, the pivot is clean. Let's clean also the screw. Very good. The stop pin, very nice. And the handle screw right over there. And let's do also this pivot here, oops, which is done. And now we're gonna tackle the scales. So I'm gonna remove the cage. I'm removing all these rollers, like so, on both sides. So here is the other cage, and all the rollers are coming out. See? Of course, guys, it doesn't, I don't need to mention this, but this is better done on a mat of some sort, because these are roller bearings you don't want to lose. Okay, so let's quickly check the inside also of this scale. Look at this serial number. You can see the quadrants of the let's see, of course, see on this side, but on this side you see that. Next, I'm gonna grab a set of magnets to try to remove like that the washer, so we can clean it properly, like so. And we're gonna clean also underneath that. Very, very nice. Let's remember which part goes upwards, because you have the broken in part, it's there. So we're gonna do the same here. If we can just, there you go. So this goes down and this goes up, see? Like so. So you keep the worn part facing up, facing the bearings, all right? And here we clean all the milling pockets, because that's where the lint wants to aggregate. Clean the lock face, clean the inside of the pivot, which is very dirty actually. I'm gonna use another one right over here. So let's clean the inside of the show side, which is keyed in beautifully. This goes in like so, and this side as well. The pivot collar is glued in. And now, here you go. We can just clear all this track like so. That's a thorough cleaning for sure. There you go. Just gonna grab like a microfiber cloth just to dry it out. And boom, we are ready to clean all these rollers and the cages right there. So just gonna push the rollers out like that and like so. So here we are. So for this, because they are really dirty, I'm just gonna grab some rubbing alcohol and just gonna pour it on the mat, just like so, a few drops. Then just like with my fingers, I'm gonna just do this, just so you see they lose that residue. And I'm just gonna slowly just move them to the side where there's probably cleaner alcohol for them, just to see, just to get cleaned nicely. And you see they leave all the black stuff behind. There you go. So these are nicely done. And I'm just gonna grab this microfiber again, just gonna dip it here and just clean it like that. All right, so that's one and that's two. So we got the cages nicely done. Maybe this we're gonna do from the top. I'll show you in a bit. And now here we can just like dry these like so. Make sure they don't go anywhere, make sure they stay there all together, and just like so. Now we're gonna just clean this mess. There you go. And I think we are pretty much ready to rock and roll, guys. I'm starting from the lock side because that's where you get the pivot sticking out, of course. That is the stop pin, which goes in this direction here. Then we're gonna do something like that. So I like to use two tweezers, because one, I just hold the roller like that, and the other one is just gonna help me to steer that and just put it in the orientation of my little cylinder right there. So see, I just grab it like that. Then with these, I'm just orienting the cage, trying not to drop it. And then with the other set of tweezers, I'm just pushing down the cylinder. I don't know if it makes sense. Just orient the cylinder in the same orientation as the cage, like that. And then you just push it down when it's aligned with the cage, like that. And then one after the other, just take your time. Also, something that you don't want to do with the bearings in general is just magnetizing them, because then it's going to be a nightmare. They're going to stick together, they're going to jump all over the place. So don't. All right? So I'm thinking, because usually I like 85 weight nano oil in my Shiro, because they tend to be like a drop shot if you use a 10 weight nano oil. I tend to prefer like a gliding shot action more than a drop shot action, and that's why the 85 weight is a little bit thicker and gives me like that little edge, I think, on the action, and it's a little bit more pleasant. So in this case, because this is not broken in already, I'm tempted to use like a 10 weight nano oil to maybe have things run a little bit smoother. So let's see, let's try with the 10 weight. All right, let's see how it goes. If it doesn't work, we're gonna do 85. So I'm just gonna do 1, 2, and 3, and 1 for the detent ball, and then I'm just gonna move a little bit around, so to spread that love. Next, we got the blade in like so. There you go. Blade's in place. So now I'm gonna do the bearing on this side, because like if I would do here, then I would have to sandwich like that, and just it's gonna probably I'm gonna probably drop something, so I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna use this method here. The only thing is that you don't want to drop the bearings into the hole of the pivot. That's the only thing you have to be careful about. Other than that, just remember to rotate. At least that's my technique, you see. Pretty much works. Sometimes, you see, you have to just be careful and just make sure you drop the bearing in the right orientation, you know. Kind of feels like a jeweler, you know, like a watch repair kind of thing, where they use you know, tweezers. They use those magnifying glasses, monocles, you know, they pop into their eyes, and I've always been fascinated by those guys, by the precision, by the patience they have, because I mean it's look at this, two at once. It's, yeah, not, oh, look at that, worked. So it's like a Zen exercise, kind of like a patience kind of deal. I mean, you have to be Zen, you have to be not stressed out when you do this. You have to be just enjoying the process of look at this. Try to make two at once, it didn't work, just wasted my time. So just do one at a time, don't do like Fab. One at a time, see, works like a charm. There you go. And we are 4 away. It's gonna be probably a longer video, but it's nice to look at this. It's beautiful. This is a very, very precisely made knife, and for me it is just like a pleasure to be able to play with this, to put it back together, clean it up. It's just like a joy. I like it very much. Nobody is paying me to do this. I just do it because I love to do it, and this is kind of like a morning routine. Here you go. So we have it lubed now properly. Everything is in place. We are just gonna do this, you see, don't do that. So I'm just gonna cover the bearing like so. Try to be centered. Everything is not in place. Fab, what are you doing? Where's the back spacer? Why didn't you clean the back spacer? I forgot. And now it's done. Look at this. And this is the pin for the back spacer, which goes here. And this guy goes here, like so. Nicely centered. Now we are in business, and we can pop the scale back like very gently. So that went in. This side didn't yet. Let me see. Like so. Now we are in. Beautiful. All right. Pivot first. So we are securing. So actually I made a mistake. Obviously this pivot goes on the other side, but not a biggie. We're just gonna pop this fella out and just pop it on this side. So right over here, the ball goes there. So just make sure this is here, and the aligned blade is like so. That's good. Everything clicked. Make sure you just orient the pivot in the correct direction, which is not this. And all right, and it's this. So just flip it over, and boom, this is in. And gently just that looks good. And now the operation you need to be careful about because of what we said at the beginning. So like so. Very gentle. See? I'm trying to keep it a little bit at an angle even, so I'm not touching this side. Very gentle, very slow. Okay. So now it's done. Oh, that's way too tight. Okay. Okay. Let me see. That's very nice. Blade is center. There's no blade play. And the knife is actually, ooh, very, very smooth, and I'm liking it, guys. That is a pleasant gliding shot action from Shirogorov Custom Division Hati Bronze. There you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned.